They called him a heretic, a madman, a threat to God himself. But behind those accusations was just an old man, staring up at the stars, whispering to the universe, "I see you." Galileo Galilei wasn't born into greatness. He was born in Pisa, Italy, in 1564, the same year Shakespeare was born, and Michelangelo died. His father was a musician and mathematician, poor, proud, and passionate, and it was from him that young Galileo inherited his obsession with logic and rebellion. As a child, Galileo didn't play with wooden toys like other boys. He played with pendulums, rolling balls, and glass lenses. He asked questions teachers didn't like. He challenged authority before he even understood what authority meant. At 17, his father pushed him into medicine, the respectable path. But Galileo found no joy in dissecting cadavers. His real fascination lay in the way objects moved, the way sound echoed, the way the world whispered secrets if you just knew how to listen. He dropped medicine, picked up mathematics, and in doing so, took his first step toward destiny. By his mid-30s, Galileo was teaching at universities and annoying older scholars. He questioned Aristotle, a man dead for 2,000 years, but still considered the final word in science. Galileo didn't care. He had eyes, hands, and a mind, and he trusted them more than tradition. One day, he climbed the Leaning Tower of Pisa, holding to balls of different weights. According to Aristotle, the heavier one should fall faster. But when Galileo dropped them, they hit the ground at the same time. It was just one experiment, one moment, but it was a declaration of war against ancient dogma. And the war was only beginning. In 1609, everything changed. Galileo heard of a Dutch invention, a tube with lenses that could make distant things appear closer, a telescope. He didn't just copy it, he improved it, tripled its magnification, then turned it to the heavens, and what he saw shattered everything. Mountains on the moon, moons orbiting Jupiter, phases on Venus like Earth's moon, countless stars invisible to the naked eye. It was beautiful, it was terrifying, and it was dangerous. Because if moons could orbit Jupiter, not Earth, then maybe Earth wasn't the center of the universe after all. Galileo had confirmed what Copernicus had only speculated, that Earth wasn't the center of everything, that the sun didn't revolve around us, we revolved around it. It was a truth too big for the Church to accept. The Catholic Church taught that the heavens were perfect, that Earth was at the center, that the Bible said so, and to say otherwise was to challenge God. Galileo didn't want to fight God. He was a man of faith. But he couldn't unsee what he had seen. Truth burned in him like fire. So he wrote, and taught, and spread the heliocentric model, sun in the center, Earth in motion. At first, they ignored him. Then, they noticed. In 1616, the Church warned him, stop. They didn't arrest him, not yet. But they made their message clear. Speak of the Earth moving again, and you risk your soul. Galileo paused, waited, breathed. Then, years later, he published his masterpiece, Dialogue Concerning the Two Chief World Systems. It was brilliant, structured as a conversation between three men, one wise, one neutral, one foolish. The foolish one, named Simplicio, argued for the Church's geocentric view, and everyone saw it. Simplicio was a thinly veiled insult to the Pope himself. Galileo had poked the bear, and this time the bear roared. He was summoned to Rome, old, sick, half-blind, but still defiant. They put him on trial, accused him of heresy, demanded he recant everything, and Galileo, the man who had stared at Jupiter's moons and changed the course of science, was forced to kneel before the Inquisition and say, "The Earth does not move." He was broken, humiliated, condemned. He was placed under house arrest for the rest of his life. Forbidden from teaching, publishing, or even speaking about his work. The telescope, once his sword, was taken from him, and yet, in the legend passed down through history, there is a whisper, as he stood up from the trial, muttering under his breath, "Eper si muove." And yet, it moves. They could silence his voice, but they couldn't silence the stars, and the truth he revealed, that we are not the center of everything, would ripple through time, inspiring Kepler, Newton, and generations to come. Galileo died in 1642, alone, half-blind, still under arrest. But 300 years later, the Catholic Church finally admitted he had been right. The Earth moves. Today, we name spacecraft after him, craters on the moon, giant telescopes, and every time a child looks up and wonders about the stars, they follow in the footsteps of that same curious boy from Pisa. Galileo didn't just look at the sky, he taught us to question, to doubt, to see with our own eyes and think with our own minds. He was not just a scientist. He was a rebel of reason, a warrior of truth, and he paid the price so the world could see the stars. Call to action, optional ending lines for voiceover. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the truth is always worth telling.